Hi. The Grace Kidman team, we're taking over Facebook land again today.
We're back.
We are giving you a break, a delightful break from the election monitoring to talk about kids, which is never stressful.
No, not at all. Just at night.
So we've got exciting news. We were able to open our Sunday school classes last Sunday, which was great. What did you feel about it? We thought it was great.
No, so excited. So very thankful to be able to have that opportunity, being able to do it under the guidelines that we have. And it's offering from nursery, preschool, and elementary up through 6th grade. Our kids were excited to come back. I had many parents telling me that once their kids heard that we were opening up Sunday school, they were very much ready to come and to go. And so very excited for that. Obviously just serving parents and serving families. Very thankful, by the way, for our volunteers. It's been several months since we've obviously been in this capacity and having classes and serving, so I'm so thankful. I just want to say thank you to the volunteers that have kind of re-upped in serving, came to our retraining meetings and are wanting to serve our families, serve our kids in this way, teach them in Sunday school. So very, very thankful for that opportunity. As far as just even reopening this last Sunday, just thank you for those of you that took advantage and dropped off for your kids. I think some of the things that we want to do with our classrooms and be able to serve at this time are hopefully super helpful for you, not only as a family, but also conducive for our kids and learning in Sunday school. And then for our volunteers as well. And so we did make a couple adjustments of some things going into this new season. So nursery's still the same, obviously, down in the main church sanctuary there in the lobby. Our preschool classrooms, we're actually able to expand a couple classrooms. So we now offer a 2-year-old class, a 3-year-old class, a 4-year-old class, and then a 5-year-old and kindergarten class. So that's up in the main preschool building there. And then our elementary still is our lower elementary of 1st through 3rd grade. And then our upper elementary is 4th through 6th grade. And they all meet over in the B building there. So lower elementary is in the fellowship hall, and then upper elementary meets in the chapel there. So that's what we did.
Oh, my kids were so excited, and they came home really happy. So, and so did Joe, who got to sit in church alone because I was serving. Okay, so what do parents need to know when they bring their kids to class? Is there anything unique with all the regulations now?
Yeah, so it did give us opportunity to hopefully make some things easier in regards to check-in and drop-off. And obviously during this whole season, we've been kind of trying to up our game a little bit and what we're offering online, but also in being able to do some things kind of even contactless as well. And so actually for parents, I've requested and asked, but if you haven't already, really highly recommend that you would download our church app. It's the Church Center app. So that little icon there, and if you go in the App Store on your phone, download Church Center. And then on Church Center, once you're there, you search for our church, Grace Church of Simi Valley. Your login, it accesses you to our church database of things, and you're in there. And then on the app here, you're going to be given a couple different options down below. So we've got even for giving, if you haven't already, or if you're already giving online, it'll have an update there. We have things for upcoming events, so things that we would have going on in the church you can register for. And then one of the other things right in the middle there is the check-in feature. And so on a Sunday morning, what you'll see come up is the check-in options for your kids for children's ministry, and it'll show your family. And then you just select the class. You select your child and select the class that they're going to be in. And then when you go to the station that you drop off, you're going to just scan. There's going to be a little barcode that's going to come up, and you're just going to scan that at the iPads, each of the check-in stations. So nursery is going to be in the sanctuary lobby. Preschool is going to be up in the main preschool building, the C building, and in the hallway lobby there. And then for elementary students, it's going to be in the chapel area, that lobby there. And you scan and check in. So we really want to make it easy for you, and being able to do that. When you come on campus, there's just a couple things, just in following suit. Some of our guidelines that we want to follow with in regards to county right now is some of the health stuff, the health regulations of things. So when you come on campus with your family, if you could go ahead and check in, just do the health screen real quickly on the church patio. I'm pointing that way because the church is that way, patio, right? But if you would just do the health screen with your family on campus first at that check-in station on the patio, and then you can peel off to the rooms that you need to go in. When you do enter the buildings, some of the mandates still going indoors. So when you do enter the building to drop off your child, and dropping off and picking up. If you'd wear a mask, just for the parents, if you'd wear a mask dropping off and picking up, we'd appreciate that. And then just so you know, as far as the guidelines go, and just inconsistent even with what our schools are doing this way as well, is that for lower elementary preschool, face masks are recommended for your kids there. And then upper elementary, face masks are required for our kids that are in upper elementary while they're indoors. So we've done some creative ways just as far as our classes and giving them some time to be able to go outside a little bit as well. But that's the expectation when families can come to drop off. So
that was my second question, is do they have to wear masks? So you already answered that. But that's the biggest question that we've been getting, and everyone wants to know that. So it's great. We are working to let them be outside some of the time, and it seemed really fine on Sunday. Yeah. So don't let that freak you out. Okay, so what's going to happen when we move back inside the church, when we get into the orange, or if there's rain, wind, anything that sends us back inside the church, which is a totally different thing. So, okay.
So Jordan's been talking about it, and obviously our county's in the red tier. And what that means is we're still limited for inside gathering, which is why we've continued to hold our worship services outside. And when we do it outside, we can do one service, which we've loved, obviously, and we really want to continue doing one service. That does allow us, though, to be able to offer kids ministry in the various classrooms inside in the capacity there. And so while we do that, or while we have that opportunity, we're going to continue that way. We want to go to the orange tier. So when our county goes to the orange tier, that actually does open up room for us. And we've talked about this before, but it does open up room for us to be able to hold. And our intent would be to do 2 worship services inside the building. And if we have 2 worship services inside the building, it'll kind of be like how it was before. And so we'll offer kids ministry inside, continue to offer kids ministry even if we meet with 2 services inside. And then, of course, really what we want is the yellow tier, because then we can offer 1 church service inside. And then, of course, everything runs normal there. If there was something to happen while our county's in the red tier, and whether for rain or something, and then we made a call as a church to go inside, we're still limited by 100 people per service inside. And so at that point, we would offer multiple services. And trying to plan that and schedule that, I wouldn't intend to offer our children's classes if that were to happen. Pray one that never happens, but it'll just be a rare occasion as well. And so if while we're in the red tier and we had to move our services from outside to inside due to inclement weather or something else like that, we would do multiple church services inside, and I wouldn't do children's classes at that point for that one Sunday. But once everything's back outside, 1 service or even 2 services inside, we'll continue to offer children's classes on a regular basis that same way.
So you can find out if churches are going to be canceled just by following social media. We'll make sure we get that blasted out in every way that we can, so you won't be wondering if classes will be canceled. So don't worry about that. Okay, so moving on from reopening, we still have some questions about what the kids are learning right now and how people who don't make it to church, who aren't comfortable coming back, can still access those lessons and still be participating in the kids ministry from home still.
Yeah, so one of the great things, obviously, in being able to teach our kids inside is just that. We get to teach them. We have our Bible teachers. We have our volunteers. They're teaching your kids the lesson that we've been tracking through. And actually, we've tried to stay on track and on course with our lessons, with our Bible project curriculum lessons that we've been doing. And so we're picking right up. So actually this last Sunday was the start of a new session for us, and it was Jesus and his kingdom parables. So we're right in there. And so we've been studying the life of Christ. And so that's what we've been sending home with you via email. It's actually what had been in the little coloring sheets, some of the notes in the little kids packets that we had been handing out or are outside. Now that we're inside, though, all that stuff is being distributed to the kids there. So the teachers are teaching the lesson. We're just continuing on where we're at. The neat thing is actually our curriculum that we have, the Gospel Project for Kids, they've updated a lot of their features. And one of the great things that they've done is they've allowed a new free access to our curriculum materials to be able to be better accessed at home. And so we had been sending you some emails and kind of linking to some of the stuff that you could download and read and watch some of the videos. Well, now they've actually provided that for us in a page that they've made. And so what we're going to do is we're going to keep it updated for you, and you can actually link, and some of the neat new features on it are some suggested family discussion time. So there's actually some devotional material in there. You'll be able to see some of the videos and the big picture questions, the things that your kids are learning in there. There's some fun activities are on there too. We have their app that you can download and access as well, the Lifeway app for kids. And you'll be able to get all that access and even more that they're providing now. So they call it the Gospel Project at Home, and it's material that's meant for you to be able to use at home and devotional material. And it has a few extra features on there that I think are really, really helpful and fun for your kids to interact, but also guiding families and just leading those things and discussion at home, which I know has been super helpful for many of you that have been accessing these things at home. So we're going to continue to do that, and it's just going to be in an updated format, which is really, really nice.
And in its updated format, it's really helpful. Even if your kids come on Sunday morning, it's so much more than just the Sunday morning lesson. It provides all sorts of weekly discussions, which you already said. But I know we like to do family devotionals as much as we can. And so being able to pull from that and keep on with the lessons that the kids have been learning, it all kind of comes together. So I was excited about the new format of that.
Yeah.
That was all of the questions that we had talked about. But do you have anything else that you want to say?
No, I just want to, actually two things. I'll just say real quick. Last week, or the weekend before, we had our trunk or treat for the church here. And so I just want to say a big thank you, by the way.
So fun.
Just want to say thank you for all of you families and just seeing people in the church that participated and came out for that weekend. I know it's usually a fun time for our church to do that, and we usually serve our church community. We serve our school community. Obviously, this year and the timing and things this year, we had a kind of a feel and idea. It could be a little bit bigger than it had been before, just within our local community, and the opportunity to still do that this year within a safe way. I'm really so thankful for how many of you came out, volunteered to host trunks, and some of the changes that we made a little bit by bringing in the food trucks as well. I pray that we were, and I believe that we were, just a good host to our community. And it's just one of those ways in the midst of all this year that if we as a church can love our community in this way and be just continue to be a salt and light in our community. And if something as silly as trunk or treat can be a way to really serve our community and our families, I'm really glad we did that. So just thank you for coming out, thank you for participating. It's a event that we do on the year, but I thought for the amount of people that came and for how we hosted it, I believe that we were a good host for our community that we're. So just thank you for coming out and participating that way, and just looking forward right now, obviously, as we head into November, and we're going to be heading into holiday season here as well too. We're obviously excited to be able to do our classes on Sunday, and then we're just really looking forward to just celebrating the holiday season, coming up with Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so even though there may not be a lot of the usual planned events that we may typically have in a year, there are things that we want to especially just make you aware of, but also resources we want to provide, encourage you as families in that way. And so we'll continue to roll those things out, just make you aware of those things as they come. And then the last thing I'd say is if you have kids, or you don't have kids, and you kind of watch this too, but you want to participate and serve, and I know that looks like maybe there's not a lot of areas to serve in right now, and as we get going, there are going to be some other areas to serve in, but one of the areas that you could serve in is with our kids ministry. And so we need people to hold babies, we want people to play with little preschoolers, and also those that are comfortable and want to teach our young elementary kids. And so with that said, we actually are going to do a new volunteer meeting for children's ministry workers specifically in 2 Sundays
15th.
on November 15th. And so it's going to be right after service. It's going to be up in the fellowship hall. And so I'll go through kind of the first steps of what it would be to volunteer here and to be a participant in serving our kids and our families in this way. And so if you're looking for an area to serve, and kids is kind of an area that you are willing to be able to serve in, we'd have you come to that first meeting there on Sunday, November 15th, right after service, up in the fellowship hall, and we'll talk you through and train you through and what you need to do. But other than that, we're looking forward to being able to serve our families.
If you are interested in that, I'll drop the link under this live as soon as I get back up to the office, so that you can just let us know that you're interested. It's just a form to let us know what your interest level is with that, or you can just message us. That's easy. And if you have any questions more that we didn't address today about the reopening and what you might want to know getting your kids into Sunday school, just message us right here on social media, or you can also email us at GraceKids at graceme.com.
There's a lot of grace going on, so there you go.
Thank you so much for joining us and for taking this time to watch us today and to let us just kind of answer a lot of the questions we've been getting over the past few weeks. So we hope you have a really good afternoon, no matter what the rest of the day brings.
Yeah, very good. So anyways, we'll see you Sunday.